Hey all, Slobguns here. Thank you for joining me. Today we're getting our hands on a brand new optic from a company intent on making serious waves in a precision shooting world, Telson Optics. They just launched their new line of scopes and we're diving into their most versatile option, the TargetMaster 5-25x56. Let's take a look at why this scope is all the hype. First impressions are definitely good. The packaging is sleek and professional and everything feels secure inside. I definitely appreciate the premium customer experience, and having quality packaging and marking materials is a large part of it. So let's take a look and open it up. As we can see, the scope, as it's going to get shipped to you, you're going to have this outer sleeve with the Telson Optics logo on there, TargetMaster 5-25x56 on there. And on the outside box here, you're going to get all the specifications right there. So let's pop this open. Okay, and then inside, we are going to get the box itself. And this is going to open up. As I'm lifting this outer box out, you can see that it takes a little bit of effort to get it out and over the box. And what's interesting about this, I was reading a book, this friction fit is one of the signs for a premium brand, and Apple, a company that's very well known for packaging, focuses specifically on that. Now, inside, when we're going to open this up, you're going to find a whole number of things. So on the bottom here, we are going to have the scope itself. We are going to get a nice sunshade. We are going to get probably the biggest lens cleaning cloth that you will find on almost any optic, with any optic, and you have Telson Optics right on there. And to be fair, I don't think I've ever actually used one. Then inside, you're going to get a goodie bag in here. You're going to have a number of things here. So you're going to have this tool that's going to help remove the scope cap. You're going to have a screw that's going to go in there if you want to remove the throw lever. You have an Allen wrench, and you're going to have a battery. And then you are going to get the scope itself with flip caps already with the scope. So that's definitely a nice touch. And as you can see, this scope is going to have everything that you're going to need in order to get started. Now, one thing that you're not going to find in here is going to be a hard copy manual. And what you are going to have is this sheet right here that's going to have a QR code. And you'll be able to go and scan it with your phone. And I'll also leave it in the description. That's going to be a link directly to the manual that you can download it from there. What I appreciate about an online manual is they can be updated over time, and it's much easier to reference if you are at the range. Okay, so once again, here's the scope itself, and definitely feels really, really, really nice. This thing is a beast. It definitely is a hefty scope, but that's to be expected with a 56mm front objective lens. The build quality from playing with the scope over the last week or so is that you have very good fit and finish and excellent quality on this. It is a 56mm front objective, 34mm tube scope, so it is definitely going to be a little bit heavier. However, it's a good, nice weight. It's not disproportionately heavier than the competition, but it's definitely not a lightweight scope. But the majority of the use cases for the scope, you're not going to need to really worry about the weight. Now, one of the things you can absolutely appreciate on here, besides the nice finish, is going to be all of these textures. All of the control textures have like this satisfying feel to them. Everything that you're going to move, the turrets, the parallax, it just feels nice. It definitely, I would say, there is a science to designing a scope, but there's, I think, definitely an art to the user experience about how people interact with the scope, and that's one of the things that I absolutely appreciate about it. Let's take a close look at some of the key features. So the TargetMaster features a one-piece 34mm main tube body, and that's going to be required to make sure you have a superior set of features and capabilities. You're going to have a 5 to 25 power magnification range with the ability to set focus to as little as 15 yards. One of the nice features on here that I definitely am glad is that you just have minimum and infinity markings on here. You don't have marks, well, you don't have like numbers for the other ones, and that's typically because a lot of the scopes, it's a guesstimate. Based on people's visions and such, it's going to be a little bit of a varied number. So I definitely prefer just to have a range showing you whether you're increasing or decreasing without specific numbers. For the glass and the image quality, Telson Optics went with Japanese ED glass. So ED stands for extra low dispersion glass, and that's going to be there needed for excellent to get you excellent clarity, especially in low light conditions. And one of the things, speaking with my fellow content creators, that they have noted is that you have excellent edge-to-edge sharpness, and that's not something you find with a lot of the competing products. Now, one of the things you'll quickly notice is that Telson also included their signature razorback knurling on all of the control surfaces. And this is going to provide you a great grip for all of the adjustments, even with gloves on. Now, what I personally appreciate as a competitive shooter is that the knurling is that it's grippy enough to grab onto, yet it's still gentle enough that it won't shred your hands if you're trying to adjust it in the winter time. Another one of the signature features that you will not find anywhere else is going to be the first focal plane FAR2 reticle. Now, reticles are very much a personal preference. However, there are definitely good and poorly designed reticles out there, particularly as it relates to long range and precision rifles. When gun owners jump into the first focal plane reticle world, they often think that reticles such as the Tremor 3 and other similar ones are somehow better because they're busy. But in reality, they create paralysis by over-analysis. Telson Optics knew this from the start and worked in collaboration with a good friend of mine, Ilya, who's better known to the vast majority of the shooting world as the Dark Lord of Optics, to create the reticles for these scopes. This reticle is designed for the long-range shooter, offering a clean center point for precise target acquisition and holdovers marked in mils. It's a tree-style reticle that is easy to use holdovers with, yet it leaves nearly the entire top half of the field of view clean so that you can spot your own hits and misses, or if you're out there and spotting for somebody else. Besides the signature features of the control textures and the reticle, the scope is feature-packed. Another feature that I definitely love is that the scope does have illumination, something that unfortunately you don't get on all of the scopes. You do have, I believe it's 11 settings. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, you have 11 settings. And there is an on-off in between each one, which is definitely really nice. So let's say, for example, you have your favorite setting. Let's say it's number 8. You can just have it on 8. And then you want to turn it off, just turn it off 1. If you want to get it back, you can get it back on. Now, what's really cool about this one is that it has shake on wake technology, so it will go to sleep by itself, and then if you come back and you move the scope, the illumination will come back on for you. The turrets are competition grade MRAD turrets with zero stop functionality. It has very nice and audible and tactile clicks. And what's super cool is that you're going to have a 3-turn indicator on here that will pop up once you start going up. Well, I'm going the wrong way. So as you go on to your second revolution, it is going to pop up, and there's actually even a third one if you have it zeroed proper, and you can actually see that it is silver on the bottom. And what this allows you to do is to easily keep track of your adjustments. These turrets adjust in 10 mils per rotation, and the great news is the scope does not skimp on internal adjustment. The TargetMaster offers 32 mils of internal elevation and windage adjustment. The other standout feature on the scope that we don't have with a lot of the others is that you have locking caps. And what this means is that, let's say you're zeroed and then you make your adjustment. Let's say you need to go up 2 mils. You can lock it down, and now you won't be able to adjust it. So let's say you're going around, walking around hunting or shooting a match or whatnot, you won't accidentally bump it and reset it. But you do basically need to make sure that, well, you are going to go back to 0 when you do it. So assuming a flat scope base, you should be able to dial out to about 1 mile with a Magnum like 300 PRC before you have to use holdovers. If you use a canted scope base, you'll be able to dial in well past that. Overall, the feature set on the scope is very impressive, especially considering the price point. Let's talk about value. The Telson TargetMaster 5-25 by 56 comes in at a US MSRP of $1,279. Now, if you're a channel subscriber and or a Squad member, you can save a bit more. Considering the features and build quality, that's a very competitive price tag. You're getting a lot of scope for your money here, especially compared to some of the higher end options on the market. So what are those options, or who is this really competing with, or who is this going to be for? I think where this scope and where Telson Optics is going to come in is going to be that entry-level premium price point. Now, there's a ton of scopes in the market. Let's say if we're talking about first focal plane reticle rifle scopes, there are a ton of scopes out there that are going to be in the $500 price point. And oftentimes they will give you the adjustment that you need, but they are going to be making sacrifices. They're going to be making sacrifices either on the image quality, on the how accurate the tracking error is, and just the overall fit and finish and the usability and the features. And oftentimes they basically just design, or they come with like a pretty mediocre reticle. You don't have that issue here. However, when you go up market, typically people would recommend, let's say you're talking about like the Leupold Mark V's, you're talking about the Athlon Cronuses and stuff. Those are typically going to be 1,800, 2,000 and up. And then we're not even talking about the Night Force territory or going up into the Collis or Vortex Razor Gen 3, etc. That's definitely going to be above that. So there is definitely this gap in between, let's say, that $1,000 up to the $2,000 price point, and that's where these are going to fit in really, really, really well. Because you're going to get all the image quality, you're going to get all of the features that you need. These are going to track well. I love all the control surfaces on here, so it's definitely going to be a nice turret. Overall, my first impressions of the Telson TargetMaster 5-25 are very positive. The build quality feels excellent here. The feature set is quite impressive, and the price is right. If you're looking for a higher performance long-range optic that won't break the bank, the Telson TargetMaster 5-25 by 56 is definitely worth checking out. Head on over to Telson Optics to learn more, and be sure to use promo code SLAVGUNS for a discount on your purchase. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Keep on squatting, and I'll see you in the next video.